I was in a lose-lose situation. Now,
What
came out still on top.
with Floyd? You said, oh, what was the lose-lose situation? What you mean?
This situation that he put me in to, make me lose. But he thought,
You talking about like a boxing match or?
yeah, boxing match.
Ooh, if you don't mind. If you don't want to, it's fine.
Joseph Pedraza, my first real title. I was 16-0. I was 21 at the time, and I haven't fought in like 7 or 8 months. And around that time,
compete with that. So he's pretty big on those scales as far as on the celebrity scale. So he's gonna realize what life is all about and what friends are all about, and realize that we only have a few of them. And sometimes they're the only ones we got. They may not be the ones we want, but they're the ones we have.
Once hailed as one of boxing's all-time greats, Floyd Mayweather has now become a subject of ridicule following scam allegations. Once admired for his skill, he's now being mocked, even by the most unlikely fighters in the sport, turning his legendary status into a cautionary tale of fame, controversy, and downfall.
Nobody would do business with you if you act like this.
But it happens a lot in boxing, though, right?
Oh yeah, because
to be
it's
common in
strategic.
boxing. Yeah.
Floyd was telling him all these things.
Floyd's given this counsel to
Yes.
Gervonta.
Who do you think is telling him to do the rehydration clauses and not, putting all these stipulations on me? You can't do this, you can't do that. The ring needs to be this size. It's Davis Garcia. It's not. But all these things were all by Floyd.
Wow, no,
The dude,
they
like-
call him Money Mayweather.
Bro,
But where's your
he's
money?
walking around in women's Fendi clothing, taking, no disrespect. He's one of the greatest fighters of all time. But like, bro, I have a rule.
In recent weeks, Floyd Mayweather has faced a storm of legal and personal turmoil. His home was raided, his bank accounts frozen, key documents seized, and his movements closely monitored. What was once a secure haven, his legacy in the boxing world, has now turned into a stage of judgment. The sport that celebrated him is now calling him out. Upon learning about the numerous alleged crimes, both active and retired boxers publicly voiced their true opinions about the undefeated 50-0 legend. Throughout his career, many fans paid to watch Mayweather fight not to see him win, but in hopes of witnessing his defeat, a sentiment now echoed louder than ever.
With that, so he's pretty big on those scales as far as on the celebrity scale. So he's gonna realize what life is all about and what friends are all about, and realize that we only have a few of them. And sometimes they're the only ones we got. They may not be the ones we want, but they're the ones we have.
If fans never got to see Floyd Mayweather lose in the ring, they might now witness his downfall in life. Known for his disapproval of Mayweather's lifestyle, boxing legend Mike Tyson didn't criticize him for bankruptcy. Tyson has faced that himself. But for more serious accusations, scamming organizations, defrauding individuals, and manipulating tax records. Despite Mayweather's repeated denials, Tyson believes the evidence speaks for itself. He even remarked that Floyd must be delusional to deny the overwhelming proof found during the home raid. According to Tyson, the materials seized could easily warrant a prison sentence. However, due to Mayweather's celebrity status, authorities have opted to proceed with more extensive investigations before taking further action.
But nobody needs to know too that there's only one step from the limo to the club.
Iron Mike Tyson isn't against the authorities seeking further confirmation. What truly disgusted him, as he revealed in an interview, were Floyd Mayweather's constant denials. Tyson called Floyd delusional and confused, questioning how anyone could deny financial crimes backed by clear paper evidence. He criticized Mayweather for attempting to fight off tax officials despite proof of falsified documents. Using his own past as an example, Tyson mocked Floyd for being a coward, saying that real men own their mistakes instead of hiding behind lies.
How do you feel about Floyd, though?
Huh?
How do you feel about
Awesome
Floyd?
fighter, great fighter. He's a little too into himself. He should be. I was the same way too, but you have to come to reality some way. You have to bring your head down to God.
I've committed way more crimes than you, Mike Tyson said, but the only ones I denied were those I never did. For the rest, I carry my cross without lies, so why do you keep lying, Floyd? Tyson has never been a fan of Mayweather, especially after Floyd disrespected Muhammad Ali. Watching his fall from grace after such an impressive boxing career doesn't surprise Tyson. In fact, he might have wished it upon him. Now, the former undisputed heavyweight champion becomes the latest voice in the boxing world to speak out on Mayweather's ongoing legal troubles.
Expect us to be ignorant and arrogant. Look where we came from.
That's why I asked the question earlier about you mentoring fighters, because I feel like Floyd looked at you growing up like every other fighter, and the persona and the lifestyle was like growing up in the hood. We looked at it like that's Mike Tyson. We see the cars, the jewelry, the flair.
Mike Tyson may be one of the most iconic names in boxing, but criticism of Floyd Mayweather isn't just coming from legends. Even boxers who never reach his level are speaking out, especially as scrutiny grows over Mayweather's extravagant spending amid rumors of financial trouble. Former champion Amir Khan recently called out Mayweather, highlighting past frustrations when a potential fight between them fell through. According to Khan, Mayweather manipulated his way out of the bout due to Khan's firm contract demands, a tactic Floyd has been accused of using before. Mayweather now faces backlash not only for his questionable financial decisions, but also for his controversial political views, which many feel are completely disconnected from the legacy of excellence his epic boxing career once promised.
I mean, just where you touched upon the Floyd Mayweather Jr. situation, I don't know how much you spoke about this since you retired, but how close was that fight?
Really close. It was really close that we ended up getting contract signed. So I ended up getting my side of the contract signed, which was sent by Floyd Mayweather Promotion. And when he come to me, I ended up signing it. And then the worst thing I made, well, the worst thing I did was to make an announcement that I've signed the contract with Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather is once again in the spotlight, this time for reportedly acquiring a 62-building apartment portfolio in one of the most prominent areas in the United States for nearly $500,000. The deal was made through his real estate investment company, Mayweather Properties. However, this high-profile purchase has sparked controversy as it comes amid renewed rumors of Mayweather facing financial difficulties. Fans and analysts are questioning the timing and motives behind such a lavish acquisition. In response, former boxing rival Amir Khan didn't hesitate to speak out. "It's sad, but look, karma's crazy," Khan remarked, alluding to Mayweather's past arrogance. He continued, "Look how arrogant he was, flaunting money. You can't just throw cash at people like that. There's so much poverty in the world, and he's out here throwing money in strip clubs." Khan's sharp criticism underscores the growing disconnect between Mayweather's extravagant lifestyle and the financial struggles experienced by countless individuals around the world.
Mayweather. You see, now I know how Floyd must have felt. He was an A-side then. And I know how it would felt if I was fighting someone and I'm the A-side and someone did that. You know, you find it disrespectful. So I was young then. I was a little bit, I got a little bit excited and said, you know what, I'm going to announce it. Must have been about 24, 25. But look, it is what it is. That fight never happened, but it was a fight that we have mutual respect for each other.
Furthermore, Amir Khan expressed strong disapproval of Floyd Mayweather's political stance, particularly regarding the ongoing conflict in Palestine. With the war happening in Palestine and Gaza, look at him. He's choosing Israel and saying he supports their soldiers, Khan stated. Floyd just wants money, and now you see how karma works. There are reports of him being broke or losing money. Khan didn't hold back, adding, "I've never really respected him for some of the things he does," clearly criticizing Mayweather's decisions both in and outside the boxing ring.
I would never have got that fight regardless. I think in their head they didn't want to fight me. I was a bad style for Floyd Mayweather, especially after the Alexander fight. The whole world media, ESPN, you name it, everyone was talking about Amir Khan's next fight is going to be Floyd Mayweather. Floyd obviously had all the ego he had. He didn't want it. He just obviously wanted to show that he's the A-side all the time. He's a nice guy to pick who he wants. And he went in and fought Maidana twice, even though he did a poll, and twice we won the poll.
Adding fuel to the fire, rapper Curtis 50 Cent Jackson took to social media to mock Floyd Mayweather's alleged financial troubles. On Instagram, he posted, "Damn champ, they caught you capping. Time for another exhibition, OO," followed by a plug for his own channel. 50 Cent's jab underscores a growing public skepticism surrounding Mayweather's financial stability. Once praised for his undefeated record and immense wealth, Mayweather now finds himself under scrutiny from fans, critics, and even former friends. While he has yet to respond to the latest allegations, The situation casts doubt on his future, both in boxing and financially. Despite his past success, the rumor suggests that Mayweather may now be facing more than just fading glories.
Yo, when you gonna give me the money?
Because you're already investing.
Right, like when you gonna give me your half of the money back. But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail.
Right.
So it's like, let him cool his heels before you.
Was that in the millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sitting there big, and I'm like, yo, so when, but see, the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent, regardless. Right. You know, so I'm looking at him going, so there ain't no pressure there, but I'm saying, when is he gonna say he wants, you know, to give me the other half of it? Why I gotta ask you for it?
Right.
When you finally get close to someone you've always looked up to, like Floyd Mayweather, you often realize they're not who they portray themselves to be. It's a letdown and it hurts. I just decided to go my own way and do my own thing. With Floyd, there were situations where I was placed in lose-lose scenarios, like my first world title fight against Jose Pedraza. I was 16-0, only 21 years old, hadn't fought in 7 or 8 months, and was barely making $10,000 a fight. Then they told me I had to fight him or I'd be shelved. I was evicted from my home and had to sell my car. I'm certain Floyd did that intentionally. I started telling other boxers what was happening, trying to help them avoid the same trap. But now, when some of those same fighters say they want to fight me, it feels like betrayal. I still respect and appreciate Floyd for what he did, but it felt like he was tossing me crumbs. $10, 000, or $15,000 to help my mom get out of the hood. But that's not enough. Within months, she'd be right back, and I'd have to ask for more. I realize some people will keep you in a position where you always need them, giving you just enough to survive, but never enough to grow. When I was signed under the same management as Floyd, they slowly started taking full control of my career.
I wasn't making that much money. I probably was making like $10,000 a fight. So 6 months is crazy to not fight, you know? So when they came back and it was like, all right, you gotta fight. He was like, you gotta fight this fighter, which is Joseph Pedraza. If you don't fight him, you're not fighting. You're sitting on a show. So I had to fight him.
The WBA lightweight champion, Gervonta Tank Davis, boasts an impressive record of 30-1 and is preparing for a rematch with Lamont Roach this summer. While Davis has been focused on his career, the ongoing talk about Floyd Mayweather looms. However, his path hasn't been without challenges, especially in his strained relationship with Mayweather. Over the years, their bond has soured, resulting in public exchanges between the two. Davis has even hinted at luring Mayweather out of retirement for a potential fight, something that would certainly attract massive attention. As the boxing world evolves, both Davis and Mayweather are at critical junctures in their careers. For Mayweather, rumors of financial struggles and public backlash may be forcing him to reflect and reconsider his future priorities.
So I had to fight him. In the midst of all that happened, I got evicted, had to sell my jewelry. So now, and remind you, I'm letting boxers that you talking about, I'm putting them on game, letting them know what's going on. Like, see, this was happening. Like, you feel me? I'm letting these guys know. So when it be like people saying they want to fight me,
almost.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think Floyd did that intentionally?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Why? After so much time, after like, I guess, again, after what we think he helped you come to the game, he gave you the spotlight. Like, why would he try to diminish your career?
Because at that time, I don't want to go too deep into it because I don't want to bring up money. But it was somehow that they were saying that I was messing with his daughter off of the fact that she kept Snapchatting me.
Okay.
She kept hitting me on the Snapchat.
In his desperation to make a statement and solidify his legacy, Gervonta Davis further complicated his already strained relationship with Floyd Mayweather, the man who once guided him to greatness. With the boxing world watching closely, both fighters now have the chance to reshape their narratives. Mayweather, once the king of the ring, must navigate the challenges of his current situation, while Davis aims to establish himself as a champion in his own right, independent of his former mentor.